I am Buster Norton. Welcome to the face of Appalachia.
Hello, I'm Tim Barnwell. Each fall in Madison County, the rhythm of work slows just enough for reflection. But for folks like Buster Norton, the land still sets the pace. Hay, tobacco, molasses, one season folds into the next.
We mow it, ted it, rake it, and then roll it, which is the step process. We used to put it up, we didn't use tedders. Then before that, we used rakes, and of course before that we used horse-drawn machines and horse-drawn rakes and put it up. And I can remember putting up hay with the horses and using the we called it a dump rake. You raked it up in bunches and then hauled it to the stack of the barn in a sled. And so you got your hay up, and the barns were used for tobacco, so when they took the tobacco out, they'd haul a stack thing and put it in the barn where they'd had the tobacco, and then feed it to the horses and cattle. Usually, nearly all farms had a cow or two and a team of horses, and sometimes in the neighborhoods, some people couldn't afford two horses. They'd use one, and then two of them would get together and do their plowing with two horses as neighbors.
These were more than chores, they were gatherings. Making hay was how a community stayed stitched together before the machines and motors took over.
It kept families tighter together. Your neighbors, you depended on your neighbor, you liked him better. You were more accommodating. It was just a fact of life, and of course people were closer to each other as a result of that too. But a lot of people were in church and grew up to Christian people, and got along good in the communities. So haymaking was a time of hot weather, and it was you can't make hay until the sun shines.
So you got livestock here?
I've got horses. I have right now I've just got 3, and my daughter's got a couple of horses, and we bring them in and bring them up to the home place and start feeding. And when it gets to start snowing, I leave them in the pasture as long as they're getting feed in the pasture. Then I bring them in and check out the fences, and we start feeding. I feed round rolls. Usually about twice a week I feed. Of course, I've got down till now I probably won't have to feed about once a week. I feed round rolls of this year I've got some wheat hay to feed that I cut off the farm in the spring. I'm hoping that'll be good to feed. I hope they'll eat it good.
For Buster, it's the horses that tie the old days to today. He still feeds them from the same fields his parents cut by hand.
So tell me a little bit about hay. When do you get that in, and how many times do you do it a year?
Well, I do that twice a year, usually the 1st of June. Usually in June, I mow hay. I mow several. No, I don't mow a lot of hay. I just put up enough for my horses. But I do mow and roll hay. And I process, and then I mow in the fall. I usually mow. I just got my hay in last week. What would that be? The third week in September? Yeah. But usually in September we mow the second cutting before it goes to getting cold, because it won't cure when it gets cool weather of a night. It won't cure too good. So we try to get it done while we're still having hot weather.
So tell me a little bit about how you do that.
Well, let's see. I mow with a drum mower, and I mow usually one day, and I'll go in and kick it the next day, and then I'll rake and bale it the next day. It's usually a 3-day process.
And kicking it's just turning it
over?
Tather
it. You kick it, spread it out. Where it's been mowed, it'll kind of gather it up in a little bit of a roll. My drum mower does, and so it'll spread it out, because it'll cure down just a little on top and wilt, and then I'll spread it out where it all can get sun, and I'll turn it over to another side to get it. And then the next day, that air will usually cure, that hot air will usually cure it in the sunshine. I've got a ton truck with a trailer, and I can haul 15 rolls at a time, and take it to the barn and leave one tractor at the barn, one in the field, haul it and put it in the barn. So it makes it a little better for me.
I never see it in bales anymore. It's always rolls now. I remember 25 years ago, I never saw rolls, and it's all bales.
Yeah, it's a one-man operation in rolls. I put my hay up, I mowed it, kicked it, and raked it, and baled it all myself the last cutting. Sometimes I'll have somebody help me and they'll rake while I bale. But other than that, I'll do most of it myself.
What once took a dozen hands, he does alone. That independence is both a point of pride and a quiet kind of satisfaction that comes with time.
It takes a lot more labor in those bales because all of them has to be hand picked up by hand and thrown on a truck or a trailer. And I used to do that. We'd put up 10,000, 15,000 bales a year. I'd bale hay for a lot of people, custom baling. And I'd bale 10,000, 15,000 bales of hay a year. But I don't do that anymore.
By September, tobacco takes over. It's a crop that once built every barn in this valley and still pays the bills when nothing else will.
The first September, we usually cut the tobacco. We cut it, let it cure about 3 days in the field, and let it wilt. And then we take the trailers and bring it to the barn and hang it in the barn, and let it cure for about 6 to 8 weeks. According to the weather, and it stays in that open barn. It's air cured, so we don't do anything except just let it hang there and cure. We're at the mercy of the weather, and so if it's really extra dry, it cures out bright and light, and if it's rainy, it cures out dark and in between, and we like it in between, and so then in about 6 to 8 weeks, we start taking it out of the barn, taking it into the casing room, and pulling it off, stripping it into 3 grades, and putting it in bales. And then when we get it all done, it takes, with just Jessie and I working most of the time, it takes us about a month to get that out of the barn and get it in. What we've got this year, about 3 acres. It'll take about a month. We get 100 sticks, 150 sticks, sometimes 200 sticks. If it's real good tobacco, we'll get 200 sticks or more a day. And so then we take it to the market at Greenville and sell it. That's our cash crop for the year.
When the tobacco's hung, the sweetness comes next. Sorghum cane, pressed and boiled by horsepower, a tradition almost vanished.
Our cane crop comes immediately following the tobacco. We start in the cane. We watch for the sugar content. Sugar content needs to be about 18. So when it gets to reaching about 18, and the seed goes to looking red, and I taste it, cut a stalk and taste it. Of course, we cut a stalk to test the sugar, and I taste it. And when everything gets just to the right point, we decide when to cut. We strip the cane first, and then we cut it, load it on the trailer, and keep all the heads together so we can, when we get it on those big trailers, we cut the heads off, and then clean it up real good till there's no excess stuff on it, some extra leaves and stuff that we missed, and couldn't reach in the top where it's real tall. We get all those off, and the bottom leaves that we've missed, and then we harness the horse and start in the molasses mill, the cane mill, and she goes round and round, and we squeeze the juice.
Molasses making draws folks like a magnet, part work, part celebration. It's the taste of the season itself. We
take it to the shed, put it in a big pan, open top pan that's 26 by 6 foot long, or about 5 foot long, and we boil it for about 5 to 6 hours till it goes to making syrup, about the consistency of some kinds of jelly or candy. The temperature needs to be about 225 degrees to be where it needs to be to what we like to call molasses in the country. Sorghum syrup is what the proper name for it, but we call it molasses in the country. So we then put it in the when we take it off the fire, we set it over and dip it into a big canister, and a 12-gallon canister, and then we got a spigot on it. We turn it into quart jars and sell it to our customers who just come by and buy. We don't advertise, and we don't have any kind of advertisement going on to try to sell. It's just word of mouth. People that buys, and they usually come back year after year after they start buying. They come back year after year wanting to buy molasses.
Tell me about your garden. You finish that up in the fall?
Well, we dig our potatoes. We can a lot of vegetables. Jessie does a lot of canning. She cans beans and things like that. And we dig our potatoes, and we gather corn. She puts a lot of corn in the freezer. We usually have a lot of corn. We have a lot of vegetables that we have extra. We plant a big garden. There's just 2 of us now, but we still plant a whole lot, and we enjoy giving it to people. We have people that comes by and enjoys our vegetables too, and we enjoy doing that. A lot of the older people that are not able to grow a garden anymore, they enjoy getting a few vegetables and enjoy a good fresh vegetable a day is something that some of them don't experience much because they're not able to get out and make that garden anymore.
It's not just food, it's memory, shared in quart jars and quiet visits on the porch.
So you tell me you grow a lot of feed corn?
Yes, we grow from 10 to 15 acres of feed corn every year, and that gets processed into feed. My nephew has a combine, and he combines it for me, and I sell it to him because he has a feed mill, and he makes feed and sells feed. He owns a feed store, and so we plant together. He helps me plant, and we work together. He helps me plant, I help him plant, and then he combines. Him and his brother helps, and so it's kind of in the family, and that comes in the fall. We usually do that, and then when we get that done, we sow cover crop.
Family keeps the rows straight. Each fall, his nephew comes to help, keeping old ties strong, like the cover crop that keeps the soil in place.
Sometimes it's too late to sow cover crops in the corn, but we sow cover crop on the tobacco fields.
And why do you do that?
In October, and usually it's last week in September, first around October.
So why do you plant the cover crop?
To keep the wind from blowing the land away. Winter winds will blow a lot of topsoil off. You don't notice it much when it's not windy weather, but in the windy months, it can blow a lot of topsoil off the field. And your fertilizer, if you put out, is in that topsoil.
So what happens after October? Things kind of slow down a little bit?
Well, usually it slows down. We start getting wood in for the winter. We'll haul in wood. I'll take the horses sometimes and pull in some wood, and tractor and pull in some, and we'll cut firewood for sometimes a day or two, and cut firewood for the neighbors, and then we of course pull off our tobacco, and all that takes till up in edge of December somewhere. And then most of the time in the wintertime, we're just repairing barns, repairing buildings, and sometimes I get a new project on my mind and start something or finish up one I've had started for a year or two. Procrastinate.
You get your equipment kind of worked on back in shape?
Yeah, I'll pull the tractor in and get them greased and oiled and check them all over while I've got some time. And I do that in the wintertime because there's always maintenance work to do on your farm equipment.
When the fields go quiet, the barns come alive. Winter's not rest, it's repair, reflection, and waiting on another spring.
So I guess you kind of can judge your schedule, what it's going to be like by the season then.
By the season? Yeah, we work by the season. She's calling me to go. We work by the season, yeah, and weather. The season and the weather controls most everything I do.
Maybe that's a lesson in all of it, that the measure of a life, like a crop, is in knowing when to work, when to wait, and when to give thanks. Hey folks, Tim here. I'm always amazed watching Buster and Jessie work, the rhythm with which they move, and the way years of experience have taught them what the land needs and when. There's a quiet wisdom in that kind of living. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Face of Appalachia. We need your help to keep sharing stories like this, and the easiest way is to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It's free, but it makes a big difference. We'd also love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments below what your favorite fall traditions are and what the season means to you and your family. We'll see you next time.